Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a Maryland campaign event for you. The first round here is Otto and Sherrick Farms, followed up by our second map, which is Hooker's Push. You're seeing an overview of both of those maps right now. Thank you to our Patreon members for the support. If you'd like to support, go to the link in the description where you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get raw gameplay footage of everything we cover with no commentary and UI. So our teams for today, on the CSA campaign side, who's playing USA both rounds today, we have the A and V, 5th Virginia, I Corps, 14th Tennessee, Sussy Brigade, and the 12th Virginia. Whereas on the USA campaign side, who's playing CSA both rounds, we have the 5th New Hampshire, Mississippi Brigade, Iron Brigade, 10th United States, Pennsylvania Army, Corn Brigade, 33rd Kentucky, the Jackson's Division. Jackson's Division is on the CSA campaign. However, they're over on the USA campaign side for balancing. At least that's how I understood the chord sheet. Numbers today is roughly 240. Right now, 5-man in balance in favor of Union. When you consider artillery, there's a 3-man in balance in favor of Union. So Union is up by 9-10 guys right now in terms of infantry, which is a bigger amount. They have a couple more unenlisted players, but I'm sure that'll fix itself as time progresses. Your USA frontline reporter currently getting ready to spawn in. You have A and V. Cloud here, very appreciative of that. And then we have Ninja from the PA. So very appreciative of both of them being able to give their POVs. Otto and Sherrick off to a great start already. Traditionally, Union pushes down the right side of this map, but on these higher pop servers, it can be much more difficult to penetrate through a defense, which is why you'll see the Union maybe trying this new effort here, going down the left side right now, kind of engaging that artillery. Artillery might get a couple good shots, but this many infantry guys shooting down at you, it might be difficult to get some shots off. You got a couple Union dying there. I don't know if they shot canister, but let's check out this line here. You have 12th VA on the right, 5th VA to the left, with Sussy and I Corps on the far left there. Kind of holding in the road side. You got A and V there. CSA countering this measure. You have the MB forward on the white fence with Corn Brigade, 8th Ohio. It looks more like behind alongside Iron Brigade. To the right side of MB, you got the 10th USPA and the 30th Ohio, part of Corn Brigade. And then skirmishing in the rocks here, you have JD. So we'll see how this works for Union. I think it's an interesting start, but we'll see how well they can have a shootout with their opponent. Because if they can't deal adequate ticket damage within a certain period of time, it could be very difficult for Union to win this match. You can kind of see what Union is doing inside of this big area here, this big line. As CSA actually starts to get aggressive, you can see from Cloud's perspective here, the 10th US pushing really far forward on these fences here, and you can see the result of that decision, which frankly is a poor decision. I know you're maybe trying to get some better shots, but you just risk losing a lot of tickets, and you just can't. Like, what's the point of taking that ground other than getting a couple of nice shots? Because you just got decimated for doing that. Luckily for them, though, if you look at the tickets, CSA is up right now by a fair good amount of tickets. Union is holding mostly in the open. Some have shade and cover, but most do not. Contrary to the CSA line, where most of them are behind something or have shade, which shade is very impactful in this game. Just if you look at from this view here, look at the tree directly in front of us. You can see the guys to the left. The guys to the right, they're silhouetted. You can still see them, but it's a lot harder to see them. A lot less noticeable, which is what you get with the shade. So CSA having the clear, better ground here, and I think Union's starting to react that way. I Corps shifting around to the right. Huncho in front with 5th NC. And we'll see how they want to approach this. Looks like they're just bolstering the right side of A and V as CSA is kind of pushed up here. MB and IB are. They do have some nice cover here, so I don't necessarily oppose it, as long as they're not taking too many casualties. That's just the biggest thing as CSA is you got to try to hold as far back as possible while still making sure the Union doesn't really push forward. Because MB, IB, they were holding up here, but they could have been like, we want to push up here so Union doesn't take this spot here. So I can, assuming that's the logic. Also, they do have a deflate here with some nice cover. If you just look from down here, MB guys, they cannot be seen. Because I mean, if you can't see them, they can't see you. And you can just see from the spot here, MB is in a very nice spot to get these reloads. First Union aggression going forward, the 14th Tennessee going in first. You have Zoo alongside. Rest of the Union starting to make forward. Similar to how the CSA is covering, Union's going to try to use that cover as well. And the CSA, PA pulling out. 8th Ohio pulling out. The rest of the CSA is kind of clumped up here. And I really like the move from Union. They're keeping the aggression. Let's see. These CSA guys, it looks like they just shifted over a little bit, a little further back. You can kind of see what Ninja's seeing here. It's just a lot of hectic going on in the front. So, Union still down on tickets. 10th US going forward. Why would you charge here? I don't know. I heard in one of the frontline reporters said, we're charging here, question mark. So, I don't know if it was entirely said. The biggest, I can appreciate the charge out. You don't want them so close to you to keep harassing you. You want to push them out of the nice ground. But you got to make sure that's communicated across. And I think some unnecessary casualties were taken. Union trying to countercharge this. It looks pretty sad though. CSA countercharging the countercharge. Don't even know if there's a word for that.
Let's go, boys!
But they retake the ground and they're still ahead on tickets. Union's still in a good spot, but you don't want the ticket gap going too far. Where's MB going? They're charging in on a firm Union position, which not a great decision. I don't know if they thought our friendlies wiped them here in the trees, so maybe we'll charge out the remaining few, but it was a little more than a few there. So now 10th US is rolling up here. I see some PA tags as well. Why is the CSA so adamant on taking these rocks? I don't think the point of trying to charge out and take a position like this is to take the position and hold it. And if CSA wins this ground, which they aren't, I don't think CSA is going to send guys out here to hold. I don't think. I just think it's really far forward. But Honcho getting a little aggressive here as CSA spread out. The flag pushed forward, so some of these CSA guys spawning in the open. 30th Ohio rolling up, trying to reinforce. Good artillery shot.
Don't stand in front of the line.
Honcho saying, let's go, to the unfortunate two guys around him. No one came up with him. So, you can kind of see what the CSA here in the woods, what they've got in terms of advantage point on the Union line right here. You can see CSA starting to inch their way back. Union hit engage first. Confederates, though, following very closely because we saw MB and 10th US charge forward there, which is a big mistake. You can't be making those mistakes. Especially when we get to these higher pop servers, which are still around 240. Imbalances fixed itself here. It's about 4 infantry in favor of Union, which isn't a whole lot. So these lines have kind of stabilized. 10 minutes now into the match.
Here we go, boys. Head west, boys. Going west. Let's go west.
And you have 12th VA. Looks like they're shifting up the hill now. CSA hit engaged. Looks like for now they're going to sit and shoot. I think I-Corps is moving up as well. You have some CSA holding out on their left side of the line. Some 14th Tennessee guys out here. I don't know if they're skirmishing or just running out there. No, it looks like they're just skirmishing, the 5 of them. But 8th Ohio shifted to this left side. You have Iron Brigade over here as well. Again, they just got a nice vantage point on the Union. I can appreciate CSA spreading out. The thing is, right, is when the whole CSA team was clumped in this tiny area, you had a wide Union line here shooting at a clumped up area, which obviously if you're all clumped up, more of you are probably going to die. Because if the shot misses the first guy, it's going to hit the second or the third or the fourth. So.
Real shit. Look at. Hey, that shit's cooking. Watch out. Oh my God. Am I alive?
And so I like that CSA spreading out. Union, though, has to charge in at some point, and they're trying to do it again. I see 5th VA for Delaware up here first, twin banners. So that's how you respond as Union, is if CSA spreading out, you have to charge in and break one of their flanks, is what we can see right now. If the rest of the Union's charged in, they could have definitely won at least this little area here. Could they have won over here is questionable, but they didn't win. CSA countercharging this Iron Brigade and 10th US rolling up now. More Union pushing down. 12th VA making their way. We'll see more Union reinforcements. I see some 14th Tennessee meat cutter out in the front as they're trying to clear the remnants of 30th Ohio, and it looks like they will. Union still down on tickets again.
What are those godless heathens, MB? Put them in the ground.
But we'll see if more Union rolls up to reinforcements because I don't know. Tickets are in favor of CSA, not by a whole lot. I like what the Union team is doing. I almost wish the whole team would charge because they've gotten very close to breaking the CSA here, but they haven't delivered a decisive blow. Unless Union's strategy is to try to keep CSA there so that they can keep farming tickets the whole time. Because if Union completely pushes them out, right, CSA will probably turtle in the back. At least that's what would make sense to myself. They might hold on the far left side here, but obviously Union can roll up and flank them, which is why I would suggest CSA holding back. Maybe Union doesn't want them to turtle, which is why they're not charging everybody in. I mean, either option works. The kind of neat part about War of Rights is there's a couple different ways to go in terms of strategy with how you want to play the game, and I think that's pretty neat. There's not one right way to do something. Obviously, when it comes down to individual instances, there's usually a right thing to do, but in the grand scheme of things, there's a lot of different options. Is JD still up here? Yeah, the JD's still up here. I mean, who's on artillery? We never really shouted it out. CSA has JD, IB, MB, and CB, so that's a lot of guys from the different groups with JDs at the head. Union, you got a 5th NC, I-Corps, 1st Delaware, but I-Corps guy in charge there. So, CSA artillery having some nice shots. No surprise there. They'll shoot the easy shots. Union artillery, haven't really seen a whole lot, but it's not like Union artillery. I mean, they just got to set the fuse right. It's kind of flat, a little downhill, if anything. So, Union now shifting their attention further to this right side. Them pushing to the right makes me believe that they can't think they can break the left side, which we haven't seen their whole team charge. And I think if their whole team charged, they could break through.
Check your kits, check your kits.
But we'll see. We'll see. The nice part, though, is CSA is so entirely focused on this side of the map that if Union tries to sweep up on the right, they have a chance. But Union is splitting up their forces. And to counter even that point, CSA is kind of spread out and there's no Steam chat. So the guys here on the CSA left can't quickly communicate to the guys on the right that, hey, Union's coming down this side. But you would think that Union would be seen as they cross. And speaking of that movement, who do we have behind the house here? You got I-Corps, 5th VA. To their right, you got the A&V-Nos. They're starting to make their way down the fence line right now. Looks like we're almost up to 260 now, which on these higher pop servers, you get to the point where the map starts favoring the defenders in a big way. A big way. Just because you can CSA, I mean, imagine what it's... I'll continue that thought in a second. I want to see what Mr. Hateful's doing here. What are you doing here, buddy?
JD, watch out.
I mean,
I'm gonna try to
it
kill
might
him.
be a skirmishing, but
Yeah, fuckhead.
maybe he lost
Rambling
tickets
in an
for...
event.
Oh, someone team stabbed.
Oh shit, I hit a friend.
You're good. It happens. But here comes the Union pushing down the right side right now. The thing is with these higher pop servers, the defending team has enough men to defend the width of the map, which can make it hard for the attackers, because as the attackers, when you can't really outflank your opponent, you just got a brain dead charge at them. It can make it very hard to do something effective. So ANV's pushed up. 10th US playing a little bit of the aggressive role for CSA tonight, are charging out. Questionable decision. I don't know if they didn't see how many Union are pushing down, but if you ever want to talk about an opportunity for Union to gain some tickets back, here's a great chance as the Union numbers overwhelm the few CSA up here. More Union rolling down the hill. 14th Tennessee now making their way down right now. How is 10th US not dead yet? Come on, Union has taken losses. I mean, with how long 10th US is here, they might be dealing some ticket damage to the Union. Obviously, I'm going to think they take more, but I don't entirely know. And the CSA defense is outside of JD and one Union group up there. All the fighting has shifted to the right, the more historical, in terms of strategy-wise, side of the map. So, I mean, you got Union view. I mean, they have a nice little defilade here that they can use. Obviously, CSA can still see them, and they can see CSA, but it provides some cover as they make their approach up to the top. And so we'll see what Union wants to do here. CSA is almost down to taking losses. Union could try to cap point and force the CSA out in that sense, which is what I saw with Ghosts of Antietam this previous Wednesday, is instead of the attackers trying to charge the enemy out, they capped point and just had a shootout. And the matches were each 50-55 minutes long, which is kind of wild. But Union won both. It was Garland Stand and Colquitt's Defense. The first round that Union did that for Garland Stand, Union should have won the match in 25-ish minutes. Because they capped when CSA was... Because the Union team all pushed the right side and took the church there, the chapel, and just held there the whole time, capped the point when CSA was at battle ready, and then with like 4 minutes left on the gold timer, they decided to... like half the team abandoned the spot. And then CSA was able to retake the point. And that drew the match out for another 30-35 minutes, which I just thought was unnecessary because Union could have won. They could have held that for 4 more minutes, but regardless, that is a strategy for Union on this map anyways, is the cap. But you have 14th Tennessee and A&V. They're pushing up. They're engaging in these little skirmishes with 8th Ohio and Iron Brigade, and these are terrible for CSA. I mean, just these... The thing is, right, when you're not together with everybody, you're going to be dying and skirmishing and out of line, which means your team loses more tickets.
I'm so sorry, boys. Okay, let's hold here.
And even though Union's down on tickets, that doesn't really matter a whole lot. It's not to an insane degree yet. It might be a third of tickets, but Union starting to push up I-Corps up here. I see 1st Delaware, Twin Banners, 5th NC. They're trying to take these rocks, but they're just going to be completely outshot. Similar to how we saw CSA all bunched up in one little area, Union's now doing the same thing, and CSA, as spread out as they are going to wipe them. Looks like 12th VA was the group that held over here engaging JD the whole time, and they have kind of shifted to this wood position, and JD is going to charge them out, maybe, or just take some shots. Let's see. I mean, JD, they do have a flag. Does 12th VA have a flag? I don't know. But it looks like JD's going to charge it out, and it looks like they're probably going to win this just because they have the numerical advantage alongside having a flag. Points being capped by Union right now. Let's shift it back here. CSA's countercharging Union, 1 dead flag. Maybe it looks like we might have missed some sort of charge on this side. And the CSA is hitting back in. CSA wiping 12th VA on the left. JD did well at that. They had to push back, and now the CSA on the right push back the Union. And you can just look at the tickets and just tell what kind of happened over the past 3-4 minutes. Critical to do that as defenders. I mean, counter charges are big for tickets, obviously, on top of getting the flag there, which USA has lost that flag, but it's now the morale stage difference. It's kind of getting to a point where it might be hard for Union to overcome the difference. So you have 5th VA up skirmishing, rest of the Union still kind of recovering. You have some CSA forward. MB taking some shots. One man, Boyd here trying to get out. Someone got a great shot from MB here. I don't know which one got it, but
You ain't taking shit back.
great shot on his part. And the Union team is forming up on the stone wall, and they're going to hit him again. They'll break him. If anything, they need to start. Now, you're not going to break the right side of CSA. I think they could have broke the left, but that's besides the point. I think Union needs to start manipulating the point here. Start pre-capping it. Maybe not fully cap, because CSA at that point can hit you in the last stand, but start capping that point. Make sure the point is like 3/4 in your favor. It might not bait the CSA out right away, but it might make them a little more nervous and might make them jump early, especially as they get close to breaking, because that's all the Union needs to really do is knock them to breaking and then cap. So
Have you have any papier? I will send you to a summer camp.
they have 23 minutes. I think a shootout is perfectly necessary here, and just pre-cap that point. Force them to come to you. I don't think charging is going to break through, but of course that's why we play the game. We'll see what happens. 12th VA's rejoin the rest of the Union team on this front. However, someone's taken 12th VA's place in A and V. So, I mean, a lot of JD guys are over here. So it can provide a nice distraction. But I reckon we're going to see a shootout for the rest of the game with maybe some aggressive charging once
Wo sind denn meine Kommandanten?
DCSA hits
Is that the
breaking.
man commandant?
Herr General!
So, what happened? What are you doing here, Mr. Yeet? Somehow, nope. At the moment I started saying anything, I'm sorry, Yeet. That was my fault. So some CSA are actually holding really far back. 30th Ohio, Iron Brigade is. I just find it a little fascinating that they're back that far, but I mean they're not going to be taking any casualties, which is a huge thing. We have some CSA forward, which is why I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm a little confused. But you know, I think they're trying to minimize casualties, and a lot of the CSA guys here have adequate cover, and maybe just 30th Ohio doesn't feel they have enough cover over here. And they know Union's shooting at them, so might as well hide back. This is really smart from CSA. Now, when I mentioned Union having a shootout and start pre-capping the point, CSA response is to turtle and force Union to cap that point. So I think both sides are playing this well right now. I just think the Union could have broke the CSA at the beginning of the match. I think if they charged as a whole team, I think they could have. But
Let's get it, Mills.
what's JD doing here?
Let's go, JD.
It's like JD just running up, doing some shots here, and falling back.
Run
And
back,
Union's
JD.
about to hit breaking as we hit the 20-minute mark. Got some 5th VA guys on the little house here. Is that a painting? No, it's a photograph. I've never noticed this before. I've been in this house like once, and that was probably like 3-4 years ago. It's kind of wild. There's just the little things. It's kind of wild, actually. there's another. What is this of? I mean, it looks like maybe some sort of fort. I don't know. Anyways, 12th VA is pushing forward. Looks like they're just running up to. I mean, they're in great cover here. Looks like they're just independent firing. 14th Tennessee moving alongside. We saw them, these two regiments, dueling it out last week in Maryland campaign, the 14th and the 12th, now working on the same side. The wholesome stories of war rights. They're forming one big line. The reunion after the engagement at Forest Stream. 12th VA pushing even further forward now.
No, I'm shooting it right now. So, I mean, very reminiscent. If you look at that tree line, Ethan, northwest, directly northwest. That's where they are. You see it moving? Northwest again on loads. Yeah.
Actually, what is this side of the house? I mean, we're just doing a house tour at this point while the shooting's going on. I mean, we know what's going on out there. You got some pots and pans that actually have a reflection, which is kind of wild. Which, if you look at this reflection here, it almost looks like you see corn. Or maybe I'm just stupid. It's probably that one. I know the reflections, I thought the reflections for these showed something. Because, yeah, because that kind of looks like a tree there. And there's no tree here. But I don't know. I know the reflections of things show areas that are not actually the reflection. Rip that guy. Like, I swear on the Colquitt's defense house, there was a pot and pan. When you looked into it, you saw something, a completely different battle. But I'd have to confirm that. That was such a long time ago. So, the shootout so far is looking like it's going in Union's favor. But the end and beginning of each morale stage, teams lose tickets at a very slow pace. It's like the full bar is not shown on the screen. So even though it looks like Union should be hitting breaking any second, it's going to take a little while. I stand corrected. Yeah, but they must have been very low in taking losses for a long time. And we'll probably see CSA in that for a while as well. Now, the big question is Union catching up? It appears so. But the second question is when is Union going to charge? They have 16 and a half minutes. That's plenty of time. If you're out shooting the Confederates and charging and being aggressive is not working, I think they have plenty of time to try to shoot them down. And if they're winning this shootout as well, you can get both sides to a low breaking stage. Because if you run out of time, that's perfectly fine. Because if it is a low breaking on each side and they're about the same and you charge in, Union is probably winning that match. Because CSA is going to have to push forward and defend the point. We do see some CSA movement. It looks like they're more concentrating on the right. We got the 30th, the 10th. JD on the right side right now. The big right. That's what they say. They don't say that. But yeah. PA, 5th New Hampshire, MB. They're having some fun here on the little shed. You do have some Union moving on the right side. This is always fun to watch. It's always funny too because if an artillery shot hits you, all these guys die and they just are like jam on top. But we're gonna look at what Ninja's viewing. It looks like PA. They're just trying to conserve their tickets, hold behind, and defend. Contrary, you got Cloud here on the wall for ANV. Looks like he might get some water or something. I need to get some water. But 14th Tennessee. Pushing down the left side here. Some CSA CM, I think, they're pushing forward. 10th U.S. Boy, these guys are the most aggressive defenders I've seen. Artillery shot. Oh, turning around. Maybe they hit out of bounds. Maybe that's why they turned around. I don't know the boundaries per se. But more house tour time. I want to see what's inside the house. There's a door here. Where does it lead? Anyways, yeah, it's if next time I see roulette played, I have to show the inside of a house, the roulette farmhouse, just because there's doors leading to the basement, and the basement just looks so off. So you do have CSA starting to stay on point because they're about to hit breaking, which means. Is this Harper's? This doesn't. This looks like something out of Lord of the Rings. Like that looks like elven shits, but they're not. I wonder if this photo is actually real with the July 24th, 18 something 6, 26.
Hey, just remember, we don't have to charge in. Like, we got fucking...
Exactly, Doug. You're so smart. Doug is like, we don't have to charge in, and that's exactly right. You have the 10th US MB guys. They're holding on point here. And that's what I was about to say before I started looking at some paintings. But now that the CSA hits breaking, they have to use some of their resources to defend point. Which means Union's going to have some nicer shots on some of these CSA guys. And if CSA doesn't have guys on point, Union can send 5-6 guys onto the point to try to force CSA to come out of their defensive position. So Union's just going to shoot this out. It's very smart. At this point, CSA can't turtle because they're at breaking, and if Union caps, they win the game. So this is a well-played game on Union's part so far. If CSA wanted to try to draw things out longer, they should have turtled harder. But that can be very hard to communicate on a no-Steam chat event.
Dude, why do we give it a stone wall? We had nobody there. I don't know.
Oh, rip Zoo. And you can see CSA, they're kind of getting closer and closer to the point. They're just converging around the center spot. Got 8th Ohio rolling up the left side here, but I mean the shootout is at least the margin is getting
Three-man spacing, boys.
more in
Spread it
Union's
out, make a
favor.
line. 3-man spacing.
Oh god, I see him. They're right
Make
there.
sure you're not behind the line. Make sure you are part of the line.
I fuck you in the ass and mouth.
What?
Oh, I'm surprised he heard me from this distance. That's cool.
So 11.5 minutes on the clock. I mean, Union's gonna hit final push before CSA takes last stand, which Union will still kind of have an advantage with that, though. I wonder if there's any paintings in this house. There's a plate. Yeah, you got some photos and paintings in here. Look at that. This is the same freaking painting as in the other house. What is that? Must be a top seller. That's also a very cool painting.
No, you're good.
Whoa. You have this painting here. And this one here as well. Two in the same house?
Loaded.
This must be the painter's house if there's that many of the same. I kind of want to look as they're still shooting it out. How many more of that same painting is in the house? I know this is probably irrelevant, but you know the facts of the matter. 10th US pushing up to the point now. Surely it's not repeated again. These paintings have a similar vibe to them. Anyways, I think that's enough house tour, but that's a lot of paintings on the same thing. So 10th US non-point. Union's kind of giving up the forward position, maybe thinking they were taking too many casualties, and Union's having a little house party right now, underneath and on top of the house here. I mean, you got a cloud. They're underneath the house right now, so. There is. Wish I could turn my brightness up. Yeah, this is what I kind of meant. Can I turn the brightness up?
God damn it, Spark.
I can't.
spar.
But once the camera adjusts,
You got
look at that. There's a door to the outside here. There is a little stairwell that leads to this here, and it's just like a bunch of dirt here, which it's kind of cool that they carved out the bottom area. But 9 minutes left on the clock. That ticket gap is definitely closer than what we saw at the beginning of the shootout. So
we're not taking any loss here, but somebody else.
Zoo is trying to command his team. He's trying to figure out where the tickets are being lost on the Union side. Because again, Union's trying to get back into the lead, if not make it a tie before they hit the final stages. And so TSA keeping only 3 guys here, trying to crouch them, give them at least a little more cover.
Are you still not dead?
Which is good.
I'm still standing, stronger than I've ever been. Fucking like a true survivor.
I believe I'm almost out of buck and ball.
That's kind of impressive if you're almost out of ammo type. I don't remember the exact, I think it's like 40 shots. I don't know though for the Springfield 42 if you get 40 a buck and ball and 40 a round ball. I don't know that. But that ticket gap is getting closer and closer.
Oh no.
I would want to see
Yeah, I grabbed your guys'
the kill count. This is like, I think, one of the nice parts for spectators, if we could see a kill count during long shootouts like this. Because you can tell by the tickets that Union's winning the shootout. And that's for sure. But I also want to see, like, how quickly are they actually killing their opponent. So there's a lot of shots going on right now. I-Corps, 14th, pushing up on the left side right now.
Stupid fucks.
They took a good couple of hits here. 14th pushing up to the rocks. Looks like they're going to try to harass artillery, but they're just kind of outshot from all sides. Server pop is kind of settled here. Oh, the inbounds is 11 in favor of CSA with 2 more guys on artillery. So that's a 9-man imbalance. But for this server size, 9 is not the end of the world, but it can be a contributing factor. And I think maybe that's why I don't know if Union's looking at that, but that could be another reason why they're holding back.
This is fucking stars, man. Look at this guy.
I don't know. If we wait too long, we get the chance.
I don't know. We'll see. Hold on. Let's see.
But I think this is gonna work for Union. I don't know. It's so 50-50 who I think is gonna win this right now, because the big question is, when is Union gonna charge at CSA? They got 6 minutes left. That's gonna be the cap. If they charge now, they'll probably hit final push, and it'll go down to like 3-4 minutes. So they'll lose a minute or 2. But
Yeah, I'm here. Direct northwest. Direct northwest.
can't hear them. 4:30. So we got a minute until Union's gonna charge here.
Ich kann nicht schießen. Wir müssen anhalten. Anhalten.
Du brauchst keine Pause. Be nice.
And so Union is going to go all in at 4:30. That'll give them time to do 2 organized charges, which will be plenty of time to hopefully hit the CSA down to last stand. Now, I'm assuming when they say we're going in, that means we're actually going to try to charge either the point or charge up top of the hill. I mean, we'll see where they go and what they plan on doing, because this you have 2 charges left. I think 2 organized anyways. The charge of the goal of the first charge should be to hit your opponent to last stand. And in 15 seconds, we're going to see what their plan is. If CSA realizes that Union stopped the shooting, they might be able to be A little more ready for them, but here they go. Union's going for the center here.
Let's go.
And we'll see, are they going to try to charge through completely, or are they just going to try to hold on point? Now, holding on point will force the CSA to come out to you, and you'll have a charge in and of itself. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. CSA, you can see them reacting on the far side. They have to get in there right away. CSA trying to get flanking shots. CSA is going to wait as long as they can before they go in. Which won't be that long. Let's get to one of the ends so we can see kind of down the whole line here. You got 8th Ohio trying to go on the flank, but right now they're the only CSA group that is trying to go in. Under 4 minutes, CSA starting to charge down the right side now. JD is going in there. You see 30th as well. 10th, you can hear him from behind are going in. CSA is trying to collapse from both sides. Union is about to hit final push with 3.5 minutes left. Union, if they don't win this, they at least got to hit CSA to last stand.
Come here, motherfucker.
Union's held on their right, but can they win on the left? CSA starting to take the point back. Union should hit final push any second. There we go. 2 minutes and 15. That is a low timer. So Union's going to have one organized charge, and they got to hit CSA in the last stand now.
We're Americans.
You have to. Yeah, there they go. So Union's got one charge left. I don't know how many flags they're going to have. You have one down right now. Probably all four are going to be, yeah, all four Union flags. That's a CSA flag. 3 Union flags are down right now. And if Union has a chance to organize, they'll have about 50-ish seconds once they all organize. Probably 40 seconds once they all organize. But they'll have time for one more charge unless they're just going to bonsai in. We'll see what they do. So it's funny when you see the little lag spike. It's just like a wave of guys spawned in. Canister trying to rip through a lot, hitting short though. And we'll see Union holding on the wall. Looks like they're going to try to hold up. They got to go at like 40-some seconds though. Looks like they're going to go at the minute mark, at least the first wave, which a lot of Union aren't ready yet. But they're going to go in nonetheless. At least most of them have bayonets, which is probably the bigger part. CSA as a team, beautiful line here. They need to shift left, though, so that Union doesn't overwhelm the flank and get those flags back up. Once they die, they don't come back. CSA can't let Union turn its flank. 30 seconds left. Union starting to win the flank. They're getting their flags back up. Meaning they're going to get respawned. CSA, 10th US, you're charging on the side. 20 seconds. It's going to be real close. Point. Back in CS. It's teetering. It's teetering. It's teetering. Union's winning point here. And I think Union's going to pull this off. What a win. Holy cow. Union's going to have more bodies on point when the clock hits 0, and that's going to be the game. What a win from Union. I mean, yeah, no, that's not happening. Union just won.
Hold the tree, hold the tree, hold the tree.
CSA's mistake on that charge was allowing the Union to turn its flank. They had too many guys on the right side, and I get why you're spreading out so far to prep for wherever the Union's going to go, but the moment you see Union start charging down the hill, I think you got to collapse on that left side. Because Union turned your flank, got the flags back up, which is the bigger thing there. And that was the round. So, kind of going over the whole round, Union probably, I think, could have won very decisively on the left early in the round if they charged with their whole team. But nonetheless, they recovered and they made strong tactical decisions that resulted in a very good victory. It's on the higher pop servers, 250, on these smaller width-wise maps. It can be very hard to get a victory. And Union played this very, very well. Very well. I think, outside of the mistake of the CSA charge at the end, I think CSA played this very well. Some could argue maybe they should have turtled. But, I mean, they were 25 seconds away from winning the round. So I think this was a great match in terms of strategy on both sides. I just think if you see Union try to turn your flank, you got to hit that with your whole team. You can't be sitting and shooting on the right, because once Union gets those flags back up, they're going to be spawning guys in left and right, and at that point, you can't win. But great round. We'll see you off at round 2 on the Hookers push. And here we are on the Hookers push here. 240, so we lost about 10 guys. Imbalance is 6 in favor of CSA side. They're playing the same sides as they were in the last round, so they're opposite of their campaign sides. For Union Artillery, we have 3 guys on it right now, and for CSA Artillery, you have 13. So, in balance-wise, it is probably 5 to 8 overall, which isn't that bad in the span of things. Hooker push, Union job. Just kind of be aggressive enough to hit CSA down the braking and take the point. CSA's got a real nice defensive position along this defilade, which you can see them holding NB Corn Brigade, holding here. More in the traditional spot, you got PA with the 10th US behind. But CSA is very spread out, as they have to with Hookers, because you don't know where the Union's going to go. You'll traditionally see the Union push down their left side, which is over there. But we can see nobody's there. And interestingly, the Union is going to be pushing the right side, which is what we see more historically. What is 30th Ohio doing?
Like, we gotta get out of the field.
Why are they doing this? They're charging. I don't know if they realize they're charging most of the Union team, but not a smart decision. Not great. So 30th Ohio just got wiped for what purpose? I don't know. Because sure, they wipe a Union group, but you're not holding this ground up here. So I don't necessarily know. But Union now taking some time shooting. The map is a little bigger than last one, so it might be harder to shoot out, but it can still work. And the thing is, if Union as a team wants to go around and bully CSA, they can play some bully ball on the CSA right now. You have 5th New Hampshire. They're up taking some shots right now. Union on the far left, engaging the Union anyways. You have JD, big numbers there on their side. And so the nice part, at least for the CSA side, is that they're always going to be able to see where the Union's at. You could see Union view from the corn here. And then, contrary, you have Ninja's view off in the distance. And, I mean, you can just see the whole open field. So, wherever Union goes, CSA is going to be able to react. And that's the big question. Where will the Union go first? Unlike last round, you can't necessarily sit and shoot the entire time. You have to push out into the open field. And you'll see Union from this right side generally charge artillery or make their way. You have some rocks here that the Union does like to charge sometimes, and you do have some Unions starting to move there. 14th, Tennessee. But it looks like for now they're just spreading out as Union very clumped up right now, and they're starting to spread their guys out. Going further right, you have I-Corps. They went forward. 5th VA is now going that way. I-Corps is turning around. That volley destroying a couple guys there.
Black down.
And I don't know if Union is riding off the opinion of last round, but unfortunately I don't think you can shoot your opponent down in 45 minutes unless you want to cap the point, which is definitely possible. And remember, I didn't start the commentary of the round until we were like at the 40-41 minute mark, because it takes Union that long from their main spawn to get over here. So we'll see when Union decides to go. Again, CSA is very spread out. It feels like Union could try to bully ball somewhere. Play that good Big Ten style football, which we love so much.
I'm gonna live. I'm gonna live.
We had a little argument before the match. A lot of people did not like the Big Ten type of play, which is fair. So you got 12th VA, 5th VA, Twin Banners, I-Corps, Union team starting to push down the road. You can see JD pulling back on the far side. You have more CSA pushing up. 30th Ohio. Are they going to fall back after they take these shots? It looks like they are. Union up on tickets, not by a whole lot, but we'll see if the Union keeps going. I think they should. Just keep the train rolling.
Destruction in detail, gentlemen.
Target's moving up south.
Surrounded.
Contact with the enemy, sir.
On the left, they're coming in southeast. They're coming in southeast.
And CSA responding accordingly. If Union moves too slow, CSA is going to have time to react and find decent spots. 10th U.S. is doing their... I think they're probably the ones that started this anyways, but not big numbers, but they still got numbers to do it well. Where they spread out, they're all in formation, but they're making a nice spread out line. Very good shots, but obviously they are the closest group to that Union bulge right now. So they're going to take some casualties in the process. You do have Union taking some of the rocks, only 2 though. One of them's falling back.
Shoot me, goddammit, I'm a honcho. I'm on your fucking team.
Shoot him. Ooh, that was kind of cool to see. Artillery whizzing over the camera. 14th Tennessee is going around the side. Both sides about halfway through a morale stage. And now I wonder if the 14th is going to move to cap the point or if they're going to try to flank the CSA team. If Union wants to do a shootout, capping the point ain't the worst thing in the world. But I hear Zoo. We're going to go back to the corn. So, I mean, they're all clumped up in a tiny area, and CSA is as spread out as you can be. And they're all shooting towards one little area, which, again, as I said last round, if you're going to miss the first guy, you're probably going to hit the second guy. So, they're going to pull back, reform. Big thing for Union with the flags, not being able to lose them. You're so far away from your main spawn. I mean, is anyone... Yeah, you got a couple guys. I don't know why you'd spawn all the way over here. It's not like any of the Union flags are down, unless... Yeah, I don't know why you'd spawn over here, but it's going to take you 5 minutes to get all the way down here, which, in war right time, that's a long time. th Tennessee now starting to move out. You have 12th VA guys shifting down left. I don't know how far down they're going to go. That sun is hurting my eyes, but also it's so beautiful. And 14th holding on these rocks, reassessing. And here's the thing. CSA already starting to shift. I presume these guys see him. Who is it here? MB starting to shift around the right. IB doing the same as well.
Pull back on the line.
Yeah, and MB, IB options here are perfectly fine. You can hold further back. You can hold here where they can see you. From a distance, these are just hard shots. You might get a guy or two per volley, but you might lose a guy or two during a volley, but you know, it is what it is. That Union view from that fence on the left side still. We're just... or the Union right, rather, just engaging. You have more Union in the distance starting to shift towards where the 14th Tennessee is at. And then also, you got Ninja's view here. Looks like he's the one kind of scouting out where everyone's at. You can see him out here in the center, at least on my screen on the top left. But that's what he can see from his view. A lot of flat land. Yeah, a lot of flat land, that's for sure. But let's see who's moving over. This seems more than 14th. Yeah, 12th VAs roll up here as well. You got Twin Banner, 5th NC. Actually, it's just 5th NC. Ah, I see Twin Banners.
Because there's 2 units up there shifting right.
I got a unit for you, buddy.
Hell yeah, buddy.
And so, Union shifting more of their attention onto this left side. I mean, again, oh, that's the wrong direction, but CSA is as spread out as one can be. And so, 15 minutes into the round, we're getting there, and CSA is still... We still got a third of the way before they go down to the next stage of engaged. Which It's a little slow. It's a little slow. Obviously, it's hard to charge on this map. Who would have thought trying to charge over an open field would be bad? Especially with guns pretty accurate as these.
Shut up.
But Union's got to push forward somewhere at some point, and as the match progresses, it's really looking like Union's going to try to hit this left side. Just overturn. But the longer the Union takes shooting from this side, CSA is going to eventually figure out that they're making their way down to the left side, and they're going to start shifting everyone on their side over here all the way to the right, and then it's going to be hard for Union to break through on that side. So I think if Union wants to go on the CSA right, they got to start moving before it's too late. But we'll see. You have some Union, though, staying on the right, which is not a bad idea. I mean, you don't want... If the CSA on the left side of their line get too bored and don't really have anything to shoot, they will move. At least that's what one would expect. We could maybe see Union waiting for CSA to hit engage and then cap the point and then just try to hold it out from there. Holding the point for Union, unless their whole team is doing it, can be very hard. Because although they can stuff a lot of guys, spread them out in the open, which is great, the CSA, you can see the point capped right now. 8th Ohio, PA, they're capping point from here, which... Yeah, you can see on the bottom right there, it says defending. Like, where Ninja's at, yeah, I mean, if you look from my view, I mean, you can't see the Union from here, and the Union can't see you. So you're sitting in a defilade. So if Union wants to cap, they got to do a full team effort there. And you got more CSA shifting right, which is not good for the Union if they want to try to push up on this side. JD's the last group over there. Tenth US is the one shifting out to the most right now. What is Riley doing over here? I mean, this is out of bounds, right? Yeah, it's out of bounds, so... Oh, he's just scouting. Yeah, he can't really do much with the pistol. So maybe just trying to see if the Union's coming that way. I don't know. Could be a lot of things. One Union guy. Similarly, it's Mozilla from 10th US. That's not surprising, but we have Pops here is running through the point here. I don't know what is a... Oh, but he's not capping. You need to be at least in skirmishing, which is when you're crouching by a lot of guys, or if you're by, I think it is 3 to 5 guys. If you're around 3 to 5 guys, that's in skirmishing. I think. I don't remember. I think it's like 3 or 4 though if you're around that many guys. So, most of the CSA team has moved over to this side now. And it's going to be much harder for Union at that flank. Although they're starting to get on these rocks here, which you have 5th VA, 12th VA, 14th Tennessee.
Oh, it doesn't sound so good anymore? Oh, okay.
Pappy, I can go, Pappy. Let me go. Let me at him. Let me at him. Tom, you see that regiment out there to the southeast?
And you even got CSA rolling up on their side here. JD, their flanks being very, very nicely spread out. And 27 minutes on the clock. Union's going to hit the next morale stage first of engaged, with Union shortly to follow that. Or sorry, CSA shortly to follow that. Close enough. No, you and an SC. Big difference there. So, Union does have some guys in the woods on the far right side of your screen here, the far left of their line, but I mean, you can just see both sides just kind of either sitting around avoiding ticket loss here or just engaged in a shootout, which is what we see from Cloud here. Artillery hitting right by him and not killing him, so... Dang, someone just got banned for 193,000 hours. So Union's first to go down to the next morale stage of engaged. I mean, CSA's doing what they need to do. It's not like Union's really charging too much and playing aggressive. I don't know if Union's like, we won in the shootout last round, so we'll win in a shootout this time, but this map is definitely different. It's a lot bigger. Your shots are a lot longer. And the defenders are not as clumped up as they were. So, almost 20 minutes to the round. And we have not seen a single significant charge or position gained from the Union side right now. You have some Union going to the center. Maybe they're trying to cap, but if they do that, CSA is just going to rip beat cutter.
Do not take that flag. Do not pick that flag.
Open order capping right now. Just wait till they're engaged.
Yes, open order, yes.
So it looks like that's what they're going to do. Is they're going to hit him to engaged and then take this point and try to hold it for 12 minutes and win it. Which I've seen done before. But it was on a pub match where the CSA was not playing smart. And I assume the guys here are a lot smarter. It's just a lot harder in pubs in terms of coordination and everything. But CSA's response is to retake this point quickly, and they have a very easy way to do it. You can see they sent more guys over to hold it. You got 8th Ohio, Iron Brigade, and the Mississippi Brigade. They're holding exactly where they need to. I think PA is probably on the point as well. I mean, let's see. Yeah, look at that. Ninja is on the point. You can see because it says defending on the bottom right. But CSA is responding perfectly. And so, if Union is... Oh my goodness, what is JD doing? Why are you pushing up here? You're playing a perfect game. Why are you risking losing tickets like this? I get you want the action, but... And I get the round's been boring. Because a shootout, although it can be very cinematic, is not the most entertaining thing all the time. And so... They got out with a lot of guys, so I give props to them, but you don't want to chance letting the attackers have, you don't want to give them a chance to have a ticket lead and get tickets on you, because this is a hard map for Union to hit CSA down. It's very evident with what we've seen. Granted, Union hasn't charged, but even then, it can be very hard. So Union pouring more guys onto the point right now. The CSA is not responding. They need to keep the point capped and keep that black timer going. Like, I think 30th, 10th over here, they got to move on to the point. Or, I mean, I think, I don't think PA's on point, but the CSA need to keep this clock moving, and I get you want to secure your flanks, but if you're just going to let the Union team bully you at the point of contention, what's the point of you getting some flanking shots out here? You're going to get a couple kills, but those guys are going to respawn back and right away. I mean, Union's very spread out. So I think this is a mistake from CSA to let Union cap. Someone from CSA's got to reinforce this and let them hold. Because the only way CSA is going to overtake this is by charging Union out. Because if we look at the imbalance again, it's 6 in balance initially, but when you have 14 guys on CSA artillery compared to Union 3, that's 11-man imbalance there. Union has more infantry than you. So... But we do have some interesting movement. 10th US is keeping that aggression roll. Highly risky with moving their flag out here, too. Maybe they're trying to bait Union off the point I don't necessarily know. JD kind of countercharging a few Union guys over there. You do have some Union on the right starting to shift that way. 14th Tennessee is moving around the side. It looks like they're going to try to get 10th U.S. Why is 10th U.S. going out this far? I know you'll regain your tickets once you retake the point, assuming that happens. But what are we going for here? I've never seen CSA do this, which is why I have such a hesitation with this. Just with the... And the biggest thing, right, is flags. You might lose a flag. It's highly probable. But if your team ever wants to retake the point, CSA is already outnumbered infantry. You need all the guys you can to try to retake point. What is 10th U.S. back here? How is that going to contribute? You're going to shoot and kill a few guys, and they're just going to respawn in right away. So, I don't like the decision. I don't see the benefit of it, but of course, they're thinking of something that I'm not thinking of. So we'll see how it pans out in the end. And I like what the 14th Tennessee did here. You have I-Corps here as well, but they plugged that hole on the left so that if 10th wants to try to get out, they can't unless they charge. So I can appreciate them moving left. They're also getting some okay shots on these guys, which you can see the CSA. Looks like 30th Ohio now moving towards the point, which, never mind, they're sitting back here. 10 minutes on that clock. As the defending team, you have to move quick to retake that point. You need to be aggressive. Whether it be charging the attacking team out or putting guys on the point to retake it, you need to do something quick. Like MB, I love the charge. You just had 6 guys, so I don't know why you did that. I also, again, don't think CSA should be charging. They just need to sit back here where they have a defilade and have cover and use their superior manpower to retake the point. But when MB's charging in, now you have 8th Ohio charging in all alone, which they don't have a flag. It frankly wouldn't matter if they had a flag, because when you have 8 guys charging in there, they're going to get completely destroyed. CSA fumbling the bag. JD now pushing down on the left side. They're trying to charge in. CSA's trying to retake the point, but they're going in so split up that they're not going to win these.
Stab one and go. Stab one and go.
Looks like 5th VA might get pushed out, but Doug's turning to his right, and the Union should be able to beat that out. Now 30th Ohio's on point. You'd have some Union snaking around the left. 10th U.S. also snaking around the left. I mean, there is one Union group over there that they might get. But CSA is going to get wiped over here. See, here's the thing, right? If CSA would have converged on point before the Union took it, I don't know if they would have had more guys, but we didn't see, so we don't know. But when you let the Union retake the point, everyone's losing tickets. I mean, look at CSA's almost on the taking losses. In a matter of 3 minutes, we've seen the CSA lose more tickets in 3 minutes than we have in 23 minutes. And Union's gone down half a stage. It more matters where Union's at, because CSA will regain up to the percentage that Union's at. But what is 10th U.S. doing here? Similar to what we saw on the other side. I like the effort to retake the point. They're just completely outnumbered. They're going to be winning some, but they're completely outnumbered. I mean, you have CSA charging on this side as well. I think that's PA here, how they got...
Help me. Help me.
Ninja got knocked over, but... Yeah. But Union's going to win over there. I mean, again, CSA tickets don't matter. It really only matters how many tickets does Union have when CSA retakes the point. And by doing these small charges, sure, you might be winning some ground, but CSA still hasn't retaken the point. They haven't knocked out any Union flags. Union still has a firm control of the point, and Union's almost down to taking losses, which if you retake, you would have just lost almost we're probably going to get to a whole morale stage by time that CSA retakes, if they even retake, because the problem is a lot of these CSA guys... 10th U.S. never lost their flag. Okay, that's at least smart on their part. But 10th U.S. is respawning over here. You have some CSA coming out of spawn, but a lot holding back. Nice shot, artillery. Almost team killing your friends. But CSA, you just have to sit behind the point and use your advantage in numbers to retake the point. If the Union is going to be able to... If you put your whole team on this defilade and you can't retake, then charging can be a nice option. But CSA has played a great start to the game, but they're kind of dropping the back. And even though 10th US has some nice PAs with them as well, even though there's some nice charges here, I don't know what this is doing to contribute to the retaking of the point. And even if it does help, you're losing a lot out of line, and you're causing the Union to lose some tickets, which means you won't be able to regain as many. So I really wish 10th US was in the Union line, because Union's starting to face this, and sure, CSA's retaking the point, but I'm going to assume Union turns around and starts winning the point back. I think Union should try to keep this point contested. Although I don't mind Union running around to secure the flanks to keep up pressure on them. I don't mind. Union's taking full control of this fight since capping point. I mean, who do we got here? You got 14 Tennessee on the flank.
I don't think I will. I don't think I will. I don't think I will.
Retards.
They're on point. You can hear them there saying they're on point. So that's a great spot from the 14th. They don't have a lot of guys, and there's a chance they could get wiped. But similar to the CSA, they have a defilade over here, and they're on point, and they're getting nice flanking shots on the CSA, which is great. And because of that, and I think some Union slipped off the rocks on the point, Union now retaking the point. And unfortunately, CSA doesn't have their whole team. It's a mix of infantry and artillery doing this. Because artillery, the problem is, artillery doesn't get a lot of kills. It's great at suppressing, knocking guys over, and making them focus on that artillery for a second or two. It draws their focus away from the action around them and just focus on the artillery. It is not good at killing things. Artillery is going to hit a shot, and it might get 2-3 kills, but those guys get back in 10 to 15 seconds. So, Union's playing this well. Union has taken losses, 4.5 minutes on the gold timer. CSA might go down the final push once they start charging a lot. We'll see. But you got the 10th US. I don't know if they'll charge or if they sit in the rocks. Let's see what Riley's doing here. Looks like he's going to sit in the rocks here. And maybe the goal of 10th is to try to draw too many Union off so that the CSA retakes the point. But the only problem with that is that Union's going to be winning these charges, hopefully. Union's not. They're just trickling in and dying, which I honestly don't mind, because if CSA does retake, CSA won't be able to regain as many tickets, but CSA is retaking that point back. I don't think the 10th is on point. I don't think that far is on point, but I think it's just because you drew a couple of Union off that it's doing that. When you have the whole CSA team concentrated on a point like this, you can retake it. So I wish CSA would have done this before Union capped, because now CSA lost a whole morale stage in a fraction of the time that it took them to go down one whole morale stage. So really well played though by Union. I like what they did. I don't think CSA responded accordingly, but that's pretty obvious with what I've been saying. But I appreciate now CSA's kind of got it under control. CSA is still very much in the game. It's going to be a lot harder, though, than it would be beforehand. And we'll see what the Union does. I think a valid Union option, if they can communicate it, because that's going to be the bigger thing. A lot of Union actually pulling off point, is turn around, charge the 10th US off, and then cap the point again. That could be one thing. Or I think the first thing Union needs to try to do is hit the 10th US once they retake the point. Just because that's going to be a huge ticket drain and possibly a flag loss for the CSA. Oh, they're actually still holding it. Crap. I thought they were going to lose it. Looks like those guys on the right, they pulled back left onto the point. CSA, it's breaking, doesn't really matter. And 10th US, some of those guys going up, they're actually really getting shot down. But again, they're all kind of respawning there. So, that point is teetering back and forth. Where are Union spawns? You have a couple moving from main, but a lot just staying on those flags. You have more Union, I think, more than the 14th are stacked up on this left side. 2 minutes left. I think CSA is probably going to retake. Actually, it's August 12th VA with some A&D guys. And they're going to retake. I think Union's got to about face and hit 10th US and PA. That's going to knock them down huge and cause them to lose a flag. They pushed the flag up as well. But Union's starting to win with more bodies on the point. CSA shifting off. I think these guys are 8th Ohio. They're trying to get around the 14th, but... And you also have guys from CSA pulling back even further, but because they're pulling back, Union's able to now retake the point. And it looks like Union has started to turn their attention towards the 10th and US and PA. The unfortunate thing, though, is I like the charge in, but there's only about 10 of them. 10th US has about the same numbers. They need to knock that flag out before it can get too many guys in. Here come more Union. Points still being won by Union, though.
Get that fucking flag. Get him, get him, get him.
Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo.
I heard make sure you're still on cap, so maybe you do. I don't think you cap from the rocks, but that'd be a crazy long point. But great move from Union. Ninja's still down there.
Hey, stop aiming! Stop shooting at my buddy!
Can't escape us with a
Fuck my man. There we go.
Oh, is he gonna get Zoo? Oh. So, 12th VA pulling off. Now, great play by Union. It took a minute, but you know that can happen. That's totally gonna happen. So, Union reforming S1. You're very close to hitting the CSA down to breaking. You have 20 minutes to shoot them out. CSA's blunder was letting Union take that point. And now CSA is spreading themselves back out again, which you can't sustain this. But JD's going out to the left side again. I mean, I know CSA was concerned about losing their flanks, but losing morale stage and a half is much more concerning than your flanks. And Union didn't really take advantage of CSA not being on their flanks. They kind of did. 12th VA, 14th Tennessee. They pulled up on CSA right over here, but it's not like they charged or anything. So, and they didn't really charge because, again, you want to preserve those flags of CSA. This is kind of wild. If this match goes for the rest of the 20 minutes, which I don't think it will, this could be like one of the longest broadcasts I've done. I mean, I did an hour, like 45-minute broadcast on Wednesday, which that was a beauty. We'll see. CSA is very close to breaking, and once CSA hits breaking, we'll probably see Union move onto the point like they did earlier. Yeah, 14th Tennessee, though, pushing out on the left side.
Left and right, independent, crouch reload. Left and right, independent, crouch reload. Mute.
You have some Union still on the right. Union's starting to make a big move out of the right. Are they going to start moving near point or on it? Let's see. Can we hear them?
You what? This is the bonus shot for that, mister.
You're putting yourself at risk, but the rocks are friendlies. We're going past the rocks.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, these are friendlies.
I just
and then we're gonna switch left now.
Oh!
Enjoy artillery!
Knight, come with us. Knight, come with us.
Where are you going?
Up here to kill shit.
You heard it.
Keep going.
Left!
So, the Union team, they're done waiting around. Doug's trying to go forward. A lot of those Union guys are still kind of holding, though, on those rocks on the left. They'll eventually start going, but very spread out. But they're going to hit the CSA down the breaking. Union on the top side, though, are shifting around left. They're not on point. Actually, someone's on point. I don't know who. It might be these guys here. But that point is going down quicker than natural decay. So CSA getting thrown off here pretty decisively. JD's trying to hit the flank. CSA is going to hit breaking. There they go. Right as I say, look at that. And the Union on the far side, what are they doing? They're starting to make their way to the point.
Right there in front of me. Get him.
And the Union are not trying to clean out JD. Instead, they're just turning onto the point. They look kind of confused. More CSA, 30th Ohio slamming up here. Points going in Union favor. This might be the end of the round. You do have some CSA trying to charge the Union out here. MB, I like it. I like it and don't like it at the same time. But it's kind of desperation for CSA at this point. Union wiped out a good chunk of your team. 10th US doesn't have their flag. And with overwhelming numbers here and a much more concentrated force, Union, I think, is going to prevail. And so this was again, a very good round from Union. I think what we saw with both rounds is that you can make mistakes in War of Rights and still find a way to win, which is really all that it comes down to in the end. And I think Union played very well tonight. I think, again, when it mattered, CSA made a mistake. It's like the first round when they hit last stand, when Union tried to turn their flank at the end of the round, CSA did not collapse on that flank. It allowed the Union to turn their flank, pick their flags back up, and that was huge. And for this round, it was allowing the Union team to cap that point. I don't know if CSA as a whole would have been able to stop. Like, if CSA had every single guy in their team on point, I don't know if it could have been possible to hold it. But we don't know because they didn't do that and they let Union cap. So Union did exactly what they needed to do. Not perfect by any means. There was a lot of mistakes, but they recovered phenomenally. Great 2 rounds tonight. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, we have our Patreon in the description where we live stream all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get raw gameplay footage of everything we cover with no commentary and UI. We also have our Discord and merch there. With that all being said, we will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.